and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for October the 7th through October the 13th. Welcome. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. I really hope you enjoy these readings and that you'll return. And if you are returning, thank you. I really appreciate your support and loyalty and love. Thank you so much. Okay, so now these readings come in 3 sections. The intro, which is this, then there's the astrology report, and then the tarot reading. And I will have skip times posted for each section in the show more section below. If you're looking on a phone, it's a little arrow pointing down. You click on that and you can get all the information. This is for your sun, moon and rising, guys. So check out the other videos. The links to those will be below. I am starting a tarot course, and I'm starting it on Sunday. Some of you will get this before Sunday. Sunday the 6th of October at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be a 6-week course. It's interactive, it's online. You can, join it from anywhere in the world as long as you check your time. And if you miss the first one, that's no big deal, because you will get the recording, and you'll be sent the recording after each class, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I am going to take you on the magical journey of tarot. Okay, so now what's the next one? I have a Facebook group, guys, and every 2 weeks I do a live feed within that Facebook group, and it correlates with the full moon or the new moon. And so we look at the chart with your sign and we see how which area of your life will be affected by it. And I have tarot cards on hand and I answer questions just for the people who join in at the time. So that's fun. It's a private group. You do have to request entrance into it, but I approve everyone. So ask for that. The link to that will be below. And what else? That's it. I think that's it. Oh, yes. If you would like a personal reading, please click on this, a personal, more tailored reading, because, guys, these are general readings. So sometimes they're specific because spirit needs to get through to somebody that needs to hear it, right? So take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you'd like a more tailored reading, click on this link and it will take you to my website. You can see all the kinds of readings that I offer. Okay, without further ado, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology report section of your reading. So what an incredibly powerful celestial sky we have this week, guys. So we start on October the 8th at 1:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Venus moves into Scorpio. Now, Venus is very, she's the planet of relationships, love, finance, beauty, and she's moving into Scorpio, which is very deep and intense. So Venus in Scorpio is very intense and deep, darling. So no shallow connections are tolerated at this time. It's like you see people that aren't authentic and you have no time for them. It's about real deep. It's like we value that deep and real truthful relationships. Or in all areas, friends, co-workers, there's no fear of intimacy during this time. It's like, it's like you crave intimacy. And our libidos will, rise up, darling. So it'll be a very hot and steamy time while Venus is in Scorpio. And also it's loyalty is demanded kind of thing. So it's very deep and very intense. Now the shadow side of Venus in Scorpio is possessiveness and jealousy and perhaps manipulation and control in our relationships. So we have to resist the urge to do that. Although it might be strong, it depends on the relationship. Now, let's move on to October the 13th, guys. It is huge. It's massive. This is an incredible look. 13. Well, I'm not going to go into that yet. We have the full moon in Aries at 20 degrees. Now, the full moon is when the sun is opposite the moon, right? So the moon's in Aries and the sun is in Libra, because they're opposite signs. And it's actually the illumination from the sun, the light from the sun, that illuminates the moon, right? So it's directly opposite. It's lighting it all up. So it's a full moon. This is a really powerful moon, and I'll tell you why. So we have the moon at 20 degrees of Aries. We have the sun at 20 degrees of Libra. And at the top is Pluto at 20 degrees of Capricorn. Now, this is what we call in astrology a T-square. And a T-square is a challenging aspect, but it's motivating. It can be very motivating. So this could bring on growth, personal growth and self-awareness. Now, that brings me back to the number 13, right? Because this is a time of transformation. Pluto is all about transformation. It's all about death and rebirth. The number 13 is a very powerful number. It represents change and transformation. It's the death card in the tarot, and that's all of the death card is about death and rebirth, right? So we need to let our old habits and behaviors die so that new positive habits and behaviors can pave the way for our path forward. 13 is also the divine feminine number, right? And that comes from 13 moons in a year. So that represents a woman's cycle, right? And the 13th day of the cycle is when she ovulates. This was the day of the goddess, right? Worshipping the goddess. It was when patriarchal rule came in that 13 was considered unlucky. Yes, unlucky for you guys because you weren't in control, okay? Don't make me go there, guys. Anyway, so this is it's like the opening to the psychic within. The full moon in Aries. Full moons are when things come to a head, right? When things come to light, when the moon shines a light on things that have been hidden to us previously that we haven't seen. So it's almost like we'll get epiphanies. We'll see things. We'll start to become aware of things that we weren't aware of before. So it's an opportunity to change something about ourselves that has held us back and stopped us from moving forward. And when we change that, we can propel forward. This T-square, right, is what we call, it's a cardinal T-square because Aries is a cardinal sign, Libra is a cardinal sign, and Capricorn's a cardinal sign. So it is about action. Cardinal signs are, getting things started, getting up and doing things, right? So this is going to create a transformation from us. Now, the interesting thing is, right, so Cancer, you think that you're going to get away with it? No, Cancer, you are involved too because you are opposite Capricorn. And so you would make a grand cardinal cross, as they say. So this is a T-square, but your energy comes to make it, meet it, and complete it. Then there may be challenges in your relationships at this time. The moon in Aries is all about finding your power. Where does your power lay? Where do I need to take initiative? Where can I say no? Sometimes saying no is kinder. It's a kinder thing to do. It's like stand up and say, no, I can't do that. Instead of saying, let me try, let me see if I can. No, I can't. It's physically impossible for me to do that. I'm sorry. Where can you set boundaries? Where can you say no? Now, at the same time, we've got Mars. Mars has moved into Libra, right? And Mars wants to be the nice guy. It's kind of goes again. Mars is the soldier, right? And Libra is the diplomat. So Mars wants to be the good guy in Libra, and it goes against his grain. He can't express himself fully. So he's not direct. It's not kind of direct. But let me tell you something incredible that's also happening at this full moon, is that Jupiter is also at 20 degrees. Now, Jupiter is at 20 degrees of Sagittarius, sending a beautiful beam of light to the moon, and likewise to the sun. It is trine to the moon and sextiling the sun. This is a lovely, beneficial energy. So we can expect to get paid, guys, abundance, money coming in, listen, this is kind of like good fortune, good luck. So I don't normally condone this, but, try the lotto, darling. And what's interesting, right? So the moon's 20 degrees, Pluto's 20 degrees, Jupiter's 20 degrees, and the sun is 20 degrees, 20, 20, 20, 20. And we are moving, the Pluto station direct and Saturn station direct, and they're picking up speed, even though Pluto is a very slow planet, right? They are picking up speed, especially Saturn and Jupiter, because Jupiter went direct the other week. So things are starting to shake and move, and there's a lot of change. There is no doubt about it. There is change. Now, look, also at the same time as this full moon, we have Venus opposite Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet of surprises, sudden happenings. It can be good and bad, but Venus is about relationships. We could expect unexpected or surprise encounters with people. So maybe somebody from the past or somebody new, perhaps new clients that will bring in that abundance or opportunities. Let's see. It's a very exciting and intense time, guys. Hang in there. But there's some really, look, change sometimes doesn't feel great, but it's going to be an amazing change. It's where we become empowered. And it's also a very kind of karmic time. So we really need to look at how we behave, how we treat others. It's very important to put kindness and compassion forward. And we are seeing things. Look, Pluto digs deep and brings stuff up, right? And particularly at this full moon, we will see things that we haven't seen before. We are seeing it with our leaders around the world. Change is upon us. So exciting times. Okay, without further ado, let's go to the tarot card, shall we? Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your reading for October the 7th through October the 13th. I am ebbing a little because this is my second time I have to record 8 of my videos yet again. 8 of them, because the audio wasn't working. It's weird. Anyway, it's a long story. The software crashed. I have learned my lesson. I'm checking to make sure it is on all the time. Something was telling me to check it, and I was like, no, just get through the readings. Just get through the readings. Don't, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And then I finally checked it at, for Aquarius, the penultimate reading, and realized it wasn't working. Anyway, here I am. Second time around. Okay, Scorpio, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio for this coming week, the week of October the 7th through the 13th? 3 cards for Scorpio, please. 3 cards for Scorpio. Oh, wait, that's too many. You've got a lot of messages coming in here, Scorpio. Okay, 3 cards for Scorpio. Oh, they want to come out, but they're not. Okay. Wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information. Can you give 1? 2 more cards for Scorpio, please. 2 more cards for Scorpio. Oh, they want to go. They want to come out. There's one more card. There's 2 more. Oh, is it 2 more? Yes. Ooh. You know what? It's interesting because even in there's one, each week I have a card that kind of repeats through itself, 1 or 2 cards. They're different cards each week, but this one card has shown up in a lot of readings, and even in the readings that I recorded before I had to re-record. So it's very interesting. Okay. It doesn't surprise me, really. Okay, these are clarifying cards. This is for Scorpio. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Scorpio through these clarifying cards for the coming week? Please clarify. Oh! Please clarify. Please clarify. There it is. Lovely. Oh, lovely. Please clarify. You have some nice cards here, Scorpio. Please clarify. There you go. Oh, very interesting. Okay, and please clarify. There. Ooh, 2 there too. Wow. Oh, this is so interesting. This came up last time for you, Scorpio. Oh, it's so interesting. Okay. Let's take a look at your cards. Okay, the first card up is the 8 of Wands, clarified by the 10 of Pentacles. Then you have the King of Wands, clarified by the 9 of Cups. Then you have the Hermit and the Wheel of Fortune, clarified by the Hanged Man and the 9 of Swords. So the first card out is the 8 of Wands. This is when a lot of things start happening, like moving and shaking. All these opportunities are coming in. It's like perhaps clients. It suddenly gets extremely busy, but it's a good busy. You know, it's not a bad busy. It's a good busy. It's a fulfilling busy because it's rewarding. You're getting what you want, darling, and you're getting paid. You've got the 10 of Pentacles. That's like, oh, this busyness is lucrative. So you are going to have a lucrative week. Very lucrative week, I am seeing. Now, the next card is the King of Wands. Now, he's one of these really social guys. He's networks, but he likes to be entertained. He gets bored very easily. He's, you know, he wants to be entertained. He's a great father. He's a great husband. He can get a little distracted, and when he gets bored, he can overdo things, right? So, you know, he's out and about and working hard and networking, but I would say he can be a bit impulsive too. I would just say don't overdo it. And you've got the 9 of Cups, right? And the 9 of Cups is like dreams and wishes come true. And you can celebrate that, but you may stay at the party a bit long. So just don't stay at the party too long, that kind of thing. Don't overdo it. Don't overindulge. And don't celebrate too much. Celebrate. Da, 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 da. And you've got the Hermit. And the Hermit is the one that's come in a lot of readings. I have a feeling that people may be in some fear because of Pluto in that square. Pluto's in a challenging T-square to this full moon, right? The full moon and the sun. So it's challenging, but it's motivating, right? So there's kind of some fear there. But the thing is it's going to get you up. It's going to get you working, doing things. It's like being in action. You've got to take care of things, which is overwhelming sometimes and fear-based because you don't know what's around the corner. So I think that's why the Hermits come into a lot of readings. And the Hermit is, you know, you take a respite, you remove yourself from society because all the noise around you is distracting and you can't think for yourself. You need to quieten your mind. And look, he retreats from society. He goes into a cave. He reads voraciously. He takes in all this wisdom and knowledge, and he's meditating for hours. He connects with the ethereal realm. He's like, you know, spiritually enlightened, right? He comes out spiritually enlightened. He holds up the light, which represents his knowledge, but also represents his mind, right? He's no longer ruled by his emotions or his mind. He can separate himself. It reminds me of Rumi, right? That Rumi, I am not this hair, I am not the skin, I am the soul that lives within. So he's got this power and authority, and he's going to hold the lantern up and show you the way. He's like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? He remains teachable, and he teaches. So he imparts his knowledge and his wisdom freely to those whom he encounters. So this is about, you know, meditation. Get a guided meditation. There's thousands on YouTube. I have one too. Thousands on you. Just, you know, look for that. Now, right next to this, right, the Hermit, is the Wheel of Fortune. I feel when you quieten your mind, it's like you've hit the jackpot because you'll have clarity and you won't be in fear. And the fear is what holds you back. It's exhausting you and it holds you back. So when the Wheel of Fortune comes in, you know, it's a wheel that constantly turns. So it's turning in your direction. Take advantage of it. And the way to take advantage of it is through meditation, quietening that mind. Now, clarifying it, you have two cards, right? You've got the Nine of Swords, which is worry, stress, and the worst case scenario. And that's probably why you've got the Hermit, right? You have to quieten this. You have to stop this, like, oh God, what if this happens? What if that happens? I could be homeless. I might never get a job. I'm not going to. You know, it's funny because I taught myself when I go into this place, I teach myself, I hear it, right? And before I know it, I'm already in this. And then I'm like, what if? And then all of a sudden I remember that I'm not my mind. And then I hear, wow, 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 wow. and I laugh because I'm not my mind. I don't have to identify with my brain. And I laughed and I think, oh, what am I like? What am I like? Get out of it. Stop worrying. It's, you know, it's a waste of time, a waste of energy to worry. And you have the Hanging Man right next to it. He's hanging from the living tree. He's enlightened, right? He's just hanging there and he's just like, oh, look at this from this angle. You are being asked to look at something from a different perspective. So, you know, this what if, you have to think, oh, wow, you know, positive, make long-term optimistic plans, think of something think of a solution as opposed to the problem. Because if you're in the problem, you're just mired and you're stuck, right? But if you're thinking of a solution, you're no longer in the problem, are you? Because you're thinking of ways and means to get out. And so it's a lot more empowering. And this is a time that you have to find your power. It's important to, when Pluto comes into play, it's about empowerment. It's about standing in your own power, finding that power, and living that power. Scorpio, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, anyone. Help me grow this channel, and comment. I live for comments and feedback, and I always respond. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.